This is a video on how to multiply matrices. So let's start. I'm going to do a number of problems here. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll have different time signatures so that you can go to the video you want to watch. This multiply by hand, you must show your work in order to get any credit. So the thing that you want to keep in mind is that I take this row. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You can only multiply matrices if I have 1, which is a row 1 by column 1, and I'm multiplying that matrix by another matrix, which is row 2 by column 2. It's always rows by columns. These two have to be equal. And your result will be whatever row 1 was by whatever column 2 is. And that's what you'll have. So this being said, if I take this row, I'm going to multiply it by this column. And the 2, I'll just show you here. The 2 gets multiplied by the 5. And I'm going to add that to the -1, which gets multiplied by the -2. So here and then here, which is why the number of columns from the first matrix has to match the number of rows on the second matrix. So then we go for the second bit. I'm going to multiply that first row by that second column. And so over here, I would write that 2 times the 2 plus the -1 times the 1. So this was that 2 and that 1. And this 2 and -1, and this 2 and -1 was here. Let's go ahead and put this here. This 5 and that -2 was there. And then I'll just underline this one because the red makes it hard to see. So for this, I've got 3 times the 5 plus 4 times the -2. And then I've got over here 3 times the 2 plus 4 times the 1. And so this 2 and this 1, this 5 and the -2, and then the 3 and the 4, the 3 and the 4. And so this is what that looks like all together here. I didn't leave myself a lot of space to write my answer. But the answer, we're just crunching the numbers. 2 times 5 is 10. -1 times -2 would be +2. So this first number here is 12. Here would be 4. This is -1. So this would be 3. Here is 15. And this is -8. 15 minus 8 would be 7. And then over here I've got 6 plus 4. So this one would be 10. And so that would be your answer for this first multiplication. All right, on this this next one, again, you have to multiply by hand. You must show your work to get any credit. I'm going to multiply this row times this column, and that'll be my first bit. So I'll have 1 times 7 plus 2 times 1 plus 3 times -1. And then over here, I'm going to multiply 1 times 8, 1 times 8, plus 2 times 0, plus 3 times 2. And then for this row down here, I'm going to use red underline. So let's go back and make sure that I've done this here correctly. The 1, the 2, and the 3 from that row. 1, the 2, and 3 consistently in that row. And then the 7, the 1, and the -1. And then over here, the 8, the 0, and the 2 correspond to the ones that we're looking at there. So from there, on the bottom, I'm going to have 4 times 7 plus 5 times 1 plus 6 times -1. And over here, same thing. 4 times 8 plus 5 times 0 plus 6 times 2. And that 8, that 0, and 2 are the same. The 4, the 5, and the 6 in this row, the 4, the 5, and 6 in this row, and then the 7, the 1, and the -1 are the same as that first column. And so that's how you set it up. We're going to have a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 3. This is a 3 by 2. Because these two are the same, our final answer is going to be a 2 by 2. So now it's just crunching the numbers. 1 times, let's go over here. 1 times 7 is 7 plus 2 minus 3. So that's 9 minus 3. This one is 6. Here I've got 8. 2 times 0 would be 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. Down here I've got 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 5 minus 6. And so this would be 27. And over here I've got 32. 4 times 8, 32. Plus 0 plus 12. So that would be 34, 44 here. And that would be your final answer there. All right. So in this next one, here it tells us we can multiply by hand or use a calculator. And so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call this matrix A, and we're going to be multiplying it by this matrix, which we're going to call B. And I'm going to use a calculator to show you how to do this. So bring up my calculator, and I do this button above the x squared button. I do second, and then this button matrix brings that up. I want to edit, so I move the right arrow key over till edit. I'm going to first edit A, so I can just hit enter to select that. I have to put in the dimension. So I look at the matrix I've got. This is it's got 1, 2, 3 rows by 1, 2 columns. So this is a 3 by 2. So then I put in 3 by 2, and it opens up enough options there. So then I just put those in 1 and 4. 1, 4. -2, 0. Make sure you're using the negative button down here, the negative. -2, 0. And then 3, 5. 3, 5. And then we're good with that. So then I can do second, quit, and then go back in and do B. Second matrix, move over, edit, but then move down to B because we want to enter for B, and it is a 2 rows, 1, 2, 3. So this is a 2 by 3 column, which means our answer we're going to expect to be a 3 by 3 column. Excuse me, a 3 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3. Hit 2 by 3. And then 2, 1, negative 1. 2, 1, negative 1. And the second row is negative 1, 3, 4. Negative 1, 3, 4. And then I'm going to quit, second mode for quit. And I'm going to do this one more time. I'm just going to multiply these out. So if I hit second and then matrix A, select, so just hit enter. Do that again, second matrix, but I'm going to move down. So I'm selecting B, hit enter. The fact that they're written right next to each other means that they are being multiplied. You could put the times sign in between them, but it's not necessary. So just A and then B means A times B. So if I hit enter now, there's my 3 by 3 matrix. It would be negative 2, 13, 15. The answer here would be sorry, negative 2, 13, 15. Negative 2, 13, 15. Negative 4, negative 2, 2. Negative 4, negative 2, 2. And then 1, 18, 17. 1, 18, 17. And that is what this would look like, multiplying it with the matrix. With the calculator. All right. On this this next one, it says to multiply by hand or use a calculator. Just in terms of like quick review, I don't think it's at this point you've done one already with by hand. Just a recap: 1 times 2 times 0, and 3 times 0 times 5 would give you this first spot here. And the answer to that would be 1 times 3 plus 2 times 0 plus 0 times 5. And so this is the 1 from the row, this is the 2 from that first row, this is the 0 from that first row, and this is the 3 from the first column, this is the 0 from the first column, and this is the 5 from the first column. So that's how that multiplication goes. This is a 3 by 3 by 3. So the multiplication of this whole thing would be, I'd have 1 here and another one here and another one here, 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 and then I would have to work through the numbers and get that multiplication. So I'm not going to do this one other than just that brief explanation by hand. I'm going to put it in and use my calculator to do that. I'm going to pause and enter that into the calculator. If you need help knowing what that looks like, look at the example before this, and I'm just going to pause and we'll go from there. Okay, I paused the video and entered that into the calculator. I entered this one in as A, matrix A. I entered this one in as matrix B. And if you want to kind of check, you can do this, like where if I go second and then the matrix and just hit A and then just hit enter, it says 1, 2, 0. 1, 2, 0, negative 1, 3, 4, negative 1, 3, 4, 2, negative 2, 5, 2, negative 2, 5. And I could do the same thing for B, but then in order to multiply them, you can do this. If I do second matrix, and I have already checked A, but we'll go ahead and put B, just so you can see. There's B, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, negative 1, 4, 0, negative 1, 4, 5, 2, 1, and 5, 2, 1. So now I just need to go for the multiplication. I'd hit second matrix, select A, and then do that again, second, move down to B, select B, and that then I would just hit enter, and it would be 3, negative 1, 10. 3, negative 1, 10. 17, 4, 14. 17, 4, 14. 31, 14, 1. 31, 14, 1. And I don't really have to do this, but I'll go ahead and show you that it really doesn't matter if you have matrix A and then you hit the time sign matrix B. That time sign was not necessary. So if you just have them right next to each other, that means that they're being multiplied. You get the same answer either way. So there you go. Keep working hard. You got this.